Here in Washington, D.C., Unique Studios is creating an authentic African superhero that operates in a futuristic Nigeria. Is this a sign that comic books are gaining momentum in Africa, a continent that was said to lack interest in African-inspired comics? Roye Okupe was one of the few Africans who exhibited their work at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit last week in Silicon Valley, California. VOA's Ndiho has more.
The African superhero universe continues to widen with the emergence of a comic book, EXO, The Legend of Well Williams, a science fiction graphic novel about redemption set in a futuristic 2025 Nigeria. The comic book follows the journey of Well Williams, an impetuous young adult who inherits a suite with superpowers after his father goes missing. Roye Okupe is the brains behind the graphic novel.
I grew up watching superheroes, cartoons, try to read as many comic books as possible, and immediately I fell in love with the genre. But I noticed that there weren't a lot from Nigeria, where I was born, or even Africa as a whole. And I always thought it would be cool to actually see an African superhero or a Nigerian superhero in a Nigerian environment.
With a keen interest in graphics and creative writing, the Lagos-born Okupe studied computer science at both undergrad and graduate level at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. His passion for animation led him to start Unique Studios, which would allow him to pursue his dreams of creating a diverse library of superheroes and inspire African young children.
I want to showcase African talent on a global level. There's a lot of talented people in Africa and Nigeria right now who do a lot of stuff in animation, comic books and video games, but they don't really get recognition outside the country or even outside the continent as a whole.
Okupe's superhero was received with critical acclaim and has since been featured on different media outlets.
There is no good, no evil, only men who have yet to decide what drives them.
Inspire people to chase their dreams while I'm living mine. This has been a dream since I was a child, to create an African superhero, a Nigerian superhero, based in a country that I was born, where I grew up, and in an environment where I grew up. So, I mean, each and every day, that's really what pushes me. What inspires me is mainly trying to inspire other people, because this is more than comic books for me.
Unlike Nigeria's thriving Nollywood film industry, the animation sector is relatively unestablished. For self-made animators like Okupe, the challenges are daunting.
So initially the challenge was trying to get the animation out and not really getting any encouragement from anybody in the industry. So that's why I decided, let me take a step back, let me do it as a comic book first and actually organically grow my fan base, and then prove that there's actually a market for this, and then go back to doing the animated series or animated movies. So
critics say in Nigeria, a majority of animators struggle to complete their projects due to lack of proper studio facilities, funding and training. But Okupe says there is still some hope. EXO, The Legend of Well Williams, has something that other superheroes created by Americans usually lack, and that is cultural authenticity. In fact, some industry analysts say if the success of Nollywood is anything to go by, the animation industry's growth potential in Africa is enormous. Ndiho, VOA News, Washington.